Hey there, guys, and welcome back to the Two Players Podcast, episode 60. We're going to dive into the news and games we've been playing recently, and then a spoiler discussion on the new God of War game. So first up, Luke Cage Season 2 got a new trailer. It pretty much looks like that they are taking this character into the route of what he is in the comics, much more of like a hero for hire sort of thing. But now he has a new threat on the horizon who can actually hurt Luke Cage now. So I'm not entirely sure if it's his powers weakening or if this guy's actually, the same strength as him. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool. Like, I was talking to Travis before that is going, like, full just regular Marvel mode where it's like, oh, it's another villain that's, like, the same power as the hero. So I'm like, all right, that just looks like every origin movie ever. I know it's not the origin because you already went through that in Season 1 probably. But I don't know. I mean, it looks good, I guess. I mean, I don't know. These Marvel shows haven't been doing as well as they were when the first seasons came out, so I'm not too sure. I haven't watched like any of them, so only a little bit of Daredevil, and that's it.
All right. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for it. I can't necessarily say, I'm like hyped for it because I still have yet to watch Jessica Jones Season 2, and I heard that was a little bit mixed with some people, so I guess I'm just going to have to wait and see.
Yep. Alright, so Walmart Canada leaked a bunch of games. One of them was Rage 2, and another one was actually Borderlands 3. And you had some weird ones, like, where was it? Yeah, like Forza Horizon 5. I don't even think the fourth one came out yet, so, I mean, it's safe to assume it's coming out, but, still.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and a lot of these leaks appear to be kind of true. Like, Rage 2 was announced shortly after this leaked, like, officially. But Gearbox said, no, Borderlands 3 is not coming out anytime soon. Like, maybe next year or the year after that, so...
Or maybe they're just doing that for a big surprise at E3.
yeah, who knows? I mean, I'm not too sure anymore, but yeah, it's safe to assume that most of these leaks are pretty real. Like Dragon Quest 2's Dragon Quest Builders 2, Gears of War 5 is probably going to come out. Like, this is probably just like safe guesses that they're doing, so it's like they already have it on like the database, I guess, for Walmart. Because they know these games are coming out already, so it's like, I would just put them here. Rage 2, though, was the big one. And yeah, and a lot of... Bethesda like spin the leak to their advantage. Is like, oh yeah, we're releasing that now, so let's release other trailers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I definitely saw this and I was like, this can't be real, or like someone messed up at Walmart. One of the two, either this is fake or someone up at Walmart Canada really like screwed up. But a lot of these do seem possible. Gears of War 5, I think that is kind of expected at this point. Gears of War 4 is a couple of years old at this point. Metroid Prime, Smash Bros, Dragon Quest, etc., etc. I think a lot of these titles are to be expected. Splinter Cell, I think, is one that I was kind of surprised by. It's been a while since we got a Splinter Cell game. I think it was Blacklist, which was the last one, which was on Xbox and PS3 and all that stuff. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see until the actual event happens, but I would not be surprised if some of these don't happen, but some of these also do happen as well. So there's that.
Yeah.
All right, so next piece of news is that we got a official reveal for a Nintendo Switch charging stand. So a lot of people were a little upset that you couldn't have like a stand that also charged the Switch as well from like a Nintendo brand, official licensed product. So now they're actually releasing it alongside Octopath Traveler and Captain Toad. So these are coming out on the same exact date, June 12th, and the dock is going to retail for $19.99, which is a pretty good price, I feel. It charges your Switch, but it also, keeps it there for you to go and play on the go or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot better than what they've been charging for a lot of their other accessories for the Switch. So I think $20 is pretty nice. And yeah, I mean, I personally think this should have just been with the Switch itself because it's kind of like, it seems like a better stand than the stand we have for the Switch. Plus, it charges the console. So yeah, I think it might be a good buy if you play portable mode a lot and just want to charge it while still playing. But yeah, I personally might get it at some point because it does look pretty useful. But yeah, I think it's good. There's nothing really bad to say about it. Maybe some people might think the price is a little too much, but I think it's okay for what you get.
Yeah. especially since they can't have it too cheap, and then they'll just lose money.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so next thing we have here is Crash Insane Trilogy that's coming out for all the other consoles that is not on PlayStation is moving up the release date. So it's supposed to come out July 10th, but now it's coming out June 29th. So that's good. I don't know why they did that, but sure, why not? I mean, it's good for everyone else.
Yeah.
Again, it's an Avengers thing. It's like, yeah, let's just push it up. Why not? It's like, okay.
I guess they got ahead of schedule. Yeah, and they were like, we might as well release it earlier, right? So.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think this would be cool on Switch because I don't know. I feel like everything is cool on Switch because I love that console. But it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be weird to feel on Xbox. I know other Crash games are on Xbox, but still. It would be nice for people to experience these games because there really are good remakes. Like these are what I imagine every like remake should be like, just like faithful to the original, but just looks a lot prettier. And like that's what I want from most remasters and remakes. So I think a lot more people should play this now that it's not on PlayStation anymore.
Mm-hmm. So far, everything that's been like moved up in release date I've seen hasn't been bad. Like Avengers release date got moved up. Deadpool 2's release date got moved up, and that movie's so far doing well. And now this game, I would expect it to do well as well, just because of the fact that it's literally just a port of the PlayStation 4 game onto these other platforms. So they can't do anything wrong here unless optimization is really bad on PC and Switch or something like that. So let's just hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, hopefully not. That'll be sad.
Yep. All right, so this is a big news story we got here. So pretty much everything that we know for Nintendo Online, we're going to talk about real quick. And this is where like a lot of like those YouTubers and like news articles came out with like, there's no virtual console and stuff like that. They were just using that as a clickbait, but like they're not releasing retro games under that banner anymore. I think they want to get rid of it and maybe do something new. But let's just dive into this and maybe we can explain a little bit more as to what we're thinking about it. So details that I have here in the Google Doc. So this is a subscription-based online service for Switch games. So pretty much like Xbox Live, PlayStation Plus, subscriptions. And then players will be able to access online and interact with a number of exclusive features via the mobile app as well. One thing that I found to be very interesting is that you don't need Nintendo Switch Online to play online for every single game. Obviously, the first-party Nintendo games will require that, but third-party games may not. In addition to playing games online, you will have the ability to play NES games with online functionality and cloud storage, which I think cloud storage is a big thing for a lot of people. And then those NES games with online functionality is very interesting as well.
Yeah, one thing I don't like about this is, again, I think the cloud saving should just be for everyone. Even though we didn't go over the prices yet, but even though it's like really cheap just for a year, it's still kind of scummy that you gotta pay like for this to get the online cloud saving, because a lot of other consoles are just for free. Like Steam does it for free, PlayStation does it for free, and Xbox also does it for free. So it's kind of weird that Nintendo also just doesn't do it for free. Because if you don't pay for it, then it's like if your saves are gone, then this is over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe they might not have the amount of, I guess, servers or space to, hold all of those. I mean, like, it's not that much to hold save files to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So, like, cloud storage shouldn't necessarily be a problem, but maybe they're just starting out with this on the Nintendo Switch Online to go and see how it works, because, Nintendo's always last everything when it comes to, online stuff, so maybe they just want to do it on here first to go and see exactly on how it works, and hopefully they don't, crash the servers or something like that or whatever.
Yeah. Another thing is the NES games they're offering is also like, who cares? It's like,
a lot of these games are like, first party Nintendo games that you've probably seen 20 times over already.
That's what I'm saying. And like the NES games aren't like that fun to play, to be honest with you. Like, it would be cool if they offered like N64 games or Super Nintendo games, but I don't know. I felt like they always give the same games out for free. Always is the NES games. I'm like, I don't care about them anymore. The PlayStation Plus does some cool stuff, but
yeah. Now they're doing it with online functionality, so maybe it'll be a little bit more fun. But I feel like you'll probably get maybe 1 hour of enjoyment from these games, possibly, unless you're a big fan of the NES games. But I feel like for me and you, we're not gonna get exactly all that much for it. So
yeah.
Also, the NES games are not available for purchase. These are only available through the Nintendo Online subscription, which is a little weird, I feel, because, you're kind of limiting your consumers to, you have to buy this subscription to play these games, but you don't own the games as well. So
yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, but I feel like that they probably have some idea as to what they want to do with their entire retro game library. I hope they don't stick with this entire, you need to have Nintendo Switch Online to play these games, because I feel like that, some people would just want to, buy the games and just, keep it forever in a way.
Yeah.
But also the prices. So the prices for this thing is not all that bad, considering you don't get as much as, something like PlayStation Plus, but you do get, online play, cloud storage, and the NES games. So 1 month is $3.99, and then 3 months is $7.99, and then 12 months, which is probably the one everyone's gonna buy, is $19.99. But there's also a family program, which is up to 8 people, and it's $34.99. That's like less than $5 per person. So like, theoretically you could like buy this, but I'm not exactly sure how long the family program lasts. I'm not sure if it's for a year. I would imagine it's for a year, because
I would think it was for a year too. Yeah,
because like there would be no reason to have $34.99 for like 1 month. That would just be really dumb. But but the Nintendo Switch Online entirety is supposed to launch this September, so we still don't have a concrete release date, but we got a month. So but what do you think about like Nintendo Switch Online as a whole, with like everything we know so far?
With everything we know so far, I think it's just very basic, and I think the price also justifies, like, it's only $20 a month compared to the other consoles. It's like $60
a year.
I'm sorry. $20 a year. Ooh, that would have been bad. No, $20 a year as opposed to the other consoles are $60 a year. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's like you get, what you pay for, but it's also like, I wish there was a little more to it, but it's like, I guess I'm fine with it. With, like, speaking with my online experiences with the Switch, they've been okay. Like, I think Mario Kart has been the worst of it. Like, I think I've gotten the most like lag and stuff out of Mario Kart just a bit, but with Splatoon and some other games, I've been fine. Like, the online has been working and it's been okay, so I don't mind paying $20 a year for it, because like $20 a year really isn't much. But again, I just wish it did more with like their games, and like just like got rid of the stupid app, because I don't want to use that. I wish it just like integrated some sort of like chat feature or something within the Switch itself, and like a VoIP or whatever, instead of just relying on the app, because it still feels it just doesn't feel good. Like, it doesn't feel good to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it feels nice when you can just go to your console, invite people to a party or something, and just like talk on there, even though everyone just uses Discord, but still it's just super like unuser friendly, and like, what happens if you don't have a smartphone? Like, it's just like a mess. Like, it's really dumb. So I really wish they would have gotten rid of that, but I guess it's gonna stick, I guess.
I think the reason why they're pushing the mobile app so much is because the Switch itself is portable, but like when you look at the Switch as it's still like a home console, it still kind of makes sense to have all that voice chat functionality on the console itself. So I'm not entirely sure how long they'll keep pushing this mobile app, because we know how Nintendo is when it comes to changing the way they are. So they're probably not going to get rid of the app anytime soon, but I feel like if less people just don't use it as much, they might phase it out, but who knows. But overall, I think what Nintendo Switch Online is right now, like you said, it's extremely bare bones, and for what it is, you get to play online for the first party Nintendo games, the NES games with online functionality, which may be a little bit cool, who knows. And then the cloud storage stuff, for $20 a year, that's not bad. But as a person who has me and you, who have been playing PC games all of our lives, and we don't got to pay a online subscription just to play games online, it's going to be a little weird to go back to that sort of model, I guess. But for how cheap it is, it's probably not even going to be that bad. But I do hope they integrate more with this Switch Online stuff. You know, maybe add more retro games and stuff like that. I have no idea what other things they could do with it other than, you know, add more games at the moment. But, you know, that's where we are right now. But the whole like virtual console thing and people like freaking out that like they're not going to bring back retro games, they're probably going to do something new with their whole like, you know, virtual console sort of thing. They might do a separate model where it's like, you know, it's like a app and you get to play all of our retro games for, you know, maybe $28 a year, just like Nintendo Switch Online is. Who knows? Because I feel like that kind of model works a lot better in 2018, you know, because like buying the individual games, you know, you'll own it, quote unquote, because, you know, it's still a digital game. But I feel like a Netflix kind of subscription model that's like separate from Nintendo Switch Online would be a lot better. I don't know.
Yeah, because a lot of like companies are doing that now with the whole streaming thing, and like, you know, like, oh, you can stream games or whatever. I know PlayStation does that with PlayStation Now, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I do like it when you can just buy a game, even digitally, and just have it, because it's just like, I don't know, it feels better than just streaming it. But I'm not too sure what they're gonna do. I don't know if they're just gonna like rely on the classic, like the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic for their retro library. Like, I highly doubt that. But
same.
I do agree that I don't think Virtual Console is dead. Like, it's dead under that name, but it's not dead like in concept. Like, they're still gonna do it because it's like a lot of free money for them. Like, you know, people will buy those games. So it's just we just gotta wait and see what they do with the whole system, because they probably just don't like, I guess, just selling the games outright, so they want to do something different. So I don't know. We just gotta wait and see, because I have no idea what they're gonna do.
Yeah, same here.
All right, and speaking of the NES Classic, that's coming back on June 29th. So if you want to play more NES games, you could have it there. I personally would not be buying. I think you have it, right?
I don't. So
oh, you don't?
I'm definitely gonna go to Best Buy or something like that and try to pick this thing up.
Yeah, for me personally, I probably won't buy it. Like, I'm not too much of a collector boy. Like, I like collecting some stuff. Like, I bought the Super Nintendo like Classic just because there's actually games on there like I really want to play. So you know, I bought it for like a practical reason, and it looks cool. But with the NES Classic, I don't think I'll buy it. It's just like, it'll just look nice, and that's about it. So yeah, I mean, it's really cool that it's coming back though, because I know a lot of people were salty when it didn't get it the first time around.
Yep. All right, so next piece of news is something that I found to be very interesting, is that Xbox is creating a adaptive controller. So pretty much what this is that it's a controller for people with many different disabilities. So like, you may, you know, only have one hand, you may not be able to have as much movement as, you know, other people do with two hands and all this other stuff. Like, just watching the video was definitely very interesting, and on how many like different functionalities you could do with this one controller is very cool. And I think that Xbox just like opened the floodgates to possibly other companies introducing controllers like this for the you know, this small minority group of like disabled people, which is pretty cool, I find. But yeah, this controller is going to retail for $100, $99.99. And at first I was like, that's a little expensive, but like when you watch the video, you see exactly on how much like different like things that they put into this controller, so you could do like different things for certain, you know, people, because not everyone has the same disability, obviously. So they got to like make it work for many different people, which they've obviously been testing for I don't even know how long.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool concept. And I think it might work. I mean, I'm not too sure until it comes out, right? Because you know, I don't know when this is actually coming out, but I think that's really cool that they're actually trying to get people with disabilities to be able to play games again. Because, you know, your arms are very delicate things, or like anything else. So, you know, something happens and it's like, oh, I guess I can't play stuff anymore. So it's really cool that they're trying to address that problem, because it's not really a problem anyone has addressed before until now. So I actually think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Again, it might be a little pricey, but with all like you said, all the things you could do with the controller to like sort of make it, I guess, adapt it to what your situation is, I think it's pretty worth it if you really want to use it. But yeah, I think it's actually like a really cool concept.
Yeah, it is. All right. Next one we got here is a rumor, so just keep this in mind. This could definitely be untrue, which I am on the side of. But Retro Studios is working on a Star Fox racing game. I think at this point, everyone's just like, or like whoever made up this rumor is just like desperate to know what the hell Retro Studios is doing, you know. So, this could be possible, but at the same time, I feel like it's not. The reason I say that is because it's sort of like once you hear this idea of a Star Fox racing game, you suddenly want it. And I'm sort of on that boat at the same time. But I know that this is definitely one of the more unlikely games to happen. But who knows? They could, announce it at E3 and prove me wrong. So.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they do, if this is real. Even though I kind of don't want it to be real. But I don't know, like. You have F-Zero for this, like just do F-Zero. Like, I know that there was more leaks coming out, or like rumors basically, saying it was gonna play more like not like F-Zero, is gonna just play like Star Fox, but you're racing other people. And I'm like, I don't know how that feels. Like I don't know. Like I don't want another racing game. Like,
yeah.
I just want another Star Fox game that isn't Zero, because Zero kind of sucked. So could we get one that's just like good? I think it's like. I hate when Nintendo does this, when they do a spin-off, when it's like it's a little too soon for a spin-off, and we kind of just want more core games of that franchise. Like it just feels like a slap in the face. It's like, oh, Star Fox racing game. So it's like a slap in the face to both like Star Fox fans and F-Zero fans, because like, oh, that could just been an F-Zero game, and Star Fox fans like, we don't even want this. We want like a natural Star Fox game.
It's sort of like with Metroid Prime Hunters on the 3DS.
No, Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My bad. Hunters was the regular DS game, right?
Yeah, that was a regular DS one. Yeah.
But yeah, like sort of like that, where it's like, come on, like really?
Yeah, it's like I don't know how I feel about this. Again, I'm not gonna say too much about it unless it's actually true and we see an E3. And again, it would surprise me if it is real, but I really don't want it to.
But yeah, when I heard about this, I was like, you guys need to like calm down, because like this is most likely gonna be not true. Like once Nintendo fans hear the words Retro Studios, they instantly get triggered and get like excited. And that might be a very harsh opinion that I have, but Nintendo fans, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them really do get excited for like no reason, and then feel disappointed afterwards when they're literally just setting themselves up for disappointment most of the time. So
yeah. Also, there's another rumor here that I just remembered. The Pokemon rumors that were coming out, where it was just like a title. It was like, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So what they're supposed to be are like Kanto remakes, and they're supposed to borrow elements from Pokemon Go. And a lot of people are really pissed off about that. But again, it's a rumor, and there's not much to go off on, except like some like, I think some copyright things. Oh,
yeah,
and
some
Nintendo,
like trademarks.
Yeah, Nintendo like registered a domain name, I think. So it could be true. I don't know. We gotta wait till E3, and I'm pretty certain it's still not coming out this year. It's gonna come out next year. But again, there's not much to go on, except it's going to be a Kanto remake, and like that's about it. Which makes sense, because, a lot of people have nostalgia for Kanto, which is the first generation of Pokemon, and people will beat that up so fast if it's on like a full console and stuff like that. So, again, for me personally, I really don't want a Kanto remake, but I know they probably are going to make one. So, yeah.
And it's probably going to make a lot of money. So
yeah, it's going to make a lot because nostalgia.
But yeah, I really like fell out of Pokemon after X and Y. I don't know why.
X and Y wasn't good. Sun and Moon is really good. You should play Sun and Moon, but I did not like X and Y at all. So
yeah, I still need to catch up on a lot of other things.
But you should play like some of the older ones. I don't know if you actually played like Hoenn, like the Ruby Sapphire.
Soul Silver, right?
No, Soul Silver is the second generation. That is the second. It's a whole lot. I know you played Soul Silver. I know you played Black and White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Black and White too.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Alright, so Mario Tennis Aces is getting a demo next week. They also released a trailer for the story mode, and it looks pretty interesting, where it's like just like the show last...
The Infinity Gauntlet is in there, or something like that.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing pictures of goddamn Luigi just holding that. I'm like, what is going on?
I feel so good, Mr. Mario. Yeah, but again, I'm pretty excited for this just on the basis of the story mode, because that's pretty cool, and I like when the Mario sports games have a story mode with bosses and stuff, Because one of my favorite Mario Karts is Mario Kart DS because it had like that mission mode and you could fight different bosses and stuff, and it was really fun. So hopefully this game sort of like resonates with me like that. So I'll try the demo. The mechanics are pretty like insane too. Like it has like weird
like that's what has me like hooked on this game, or like, you know, interested in it, I should say, is because like the game itself just looks like really fun to play. So
yeah, I never thought I'd be excited for a Mario Tennis game, but here we are, and it actually looks pretty interesting. So I guess I'll try out the demo and see how it is.
Yeah, because like the only Mario Tennis game I really liked was Power something. Mario Tennis Power something.
Was that on 3DS?
It was actually just called Mario Power Tennis. Why am I overthinking this? I played the Wii version.
Okay.
Because I was like the new play control sort of thing when they were like porting GameCube games to the Wii. But yeah, like I liked that game. That game was kind of fun. But I think ever since then there have been, you know, some Mario Tennis games. I know that there was one on the 3DS that you played.
Yeah, it was bad. It was very
know,
bland.
You know, some people liked it, some people really hated it. You know, so it's one of those games. But I feel like that this game's definitely gonna be like, you know, a really good like Mario Tennis game, just on the basis of the gameplay itself and also the inclusion of a story mode that looks to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into games that we have been playing recently. So I guess I'll go first real quick because it's literally just League of Legends and Fortnite. So
go ahead.
League of Legends, D5 again. God damn it.
Let's go.
I'm confident in myself to hopefully get back into D4, but the new patch dropped, which pretty much changed the jungle. I'm gonna say a little bit, but it's probably a lot when you talk to people who actually play jungle. But pretty much they've decreased the amount of XP you get from camps, so you can't just do 3 camps and then hit level 3. You actually have to do the scuttle crab, which now is like a objective kind of, because now it spawns on both sides, and then after those 2 are killed, I believe that it now only spawns on one side of the map. And the reason why scuttle crab is so important is because now it gives a lot of XP. So pretty much what junglers will try to do is try to go and contest that, but I feel like that a lot of people are over like putting too much pressure on it to a point where it's like they'll just die for it for no reason when like,
it's just not worth it.
Yeah, like we can't contest it. So like what happens is now the meta is that junglers that can 1v1 early, so like Udyr's like very popular in solo queue, Graves is still a meta pick, along with the laners having priority. So like if laners could get the push, they'll most likely get that scuttle crab, which is very important for the jungler and the team, obviously. Now if the enemy jungler keeps getting scuttle crabs and your jungler doesn't, he's definitely going to be behind in a bunch of levels, but that doesn't mean that he's like completely useless. It's just that if you're going to go for like a smite fight, you know, the one who's higher level is most likely going to win. So it's literally just like jungle's kind of in a weird spot at the moment where it's like we want to, you know, pressure early, but we can't because we don't get a lot of XP now. So but when it comes to supports, you know, it's kind of like in the air, I feel, at the moment. Goddamn heal shield supports are still annoying, and tank supports are kind of out, I feel. But Fortnite, you played the Thanos mode a lot, right? Did you?
Yeah, I got Thanos twice.
Okay, because I didn't even, like, I played it once, and then some random guy killed me, and I was like, well, this mode's dumb.
Well, I didn't play it too much. I just played, like, maybe, like, twice. Not twice, but, like, I played, like 2 sessions of it, like, 5 games each or whatever. So I guess I could talk about that. It was pretty fun. I actually think Thanos should have been stronger, because he was actually weak as hell. So I got him, right? I got the gauntlet. It was in Pleasant Park. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill everyone. So I killed everyone in Pleasant Park. That wasn't too hard because there's a lot of cover for me. But the moment you get out of that like starting area you're in, you know, you got the gauntlet, you killed everyone in there, and you start looking for other players, you just get shot down. Like you can't build. Your charge takes forever to jump, jump up in the air. Your beam is like doesn't really have too much range, and your punch could kill people, but you have to be really close to them. So you kind of just die a lot. So I'm like, all right, well, that was underwhelming. Your beam doesn't do like any damage, so it's like they could just build and then like they're fine. So I'm like, all right. I personally think they should have buffed Thanos to be a lot stronger, so people actually like fought him and he was actually like a threat. because when he showed up, he was just like, okay, I could probably just kill him pretty easily, and like, he's done.
There was a lot of clips on Twitter with people just killing Thanos, like 1v1 at the end, so...
Yeah, it wasn't too difficult. There was a mode like that in TF2, and I think they did a better job in that game, where it's like some player returned to a boss, and like both teams have to like kill the boss, because it was like really, really strong, and you can't like 1v1 it, so like both teams have to go kill it. And I think they should have done it in this game as well, where it's like make Thanos like really strong, so the remaining players actually have to like fight him instead of just like, okay,
instead of like killing each other and then trying to get the gauntlet at the same time.
He wasn't too much of a threat. So I think the game mode had potential, and I don't know if they're gonna bring it back with Thanos, probably not, but if do it with some other like original boss character, because I do like the concept of like a boss like that sort of like game mode. I think they should just make that boss like stronger. But that was that mode. It was pretty fun, but I think it could do some tweaking.
Yeah, I mean, like, just like the concept in and of itself, I wasn't a huge fan of. And then, just like watching other people play the mode, it was like, it looks all right. I would much rather, just play even solos, to be honest, which I'm not even a big fan of of that mode. So, but anything else Fortnite related that I could think of that like they did new in terms of the game?
They didn't really add too many stuff. They added a new legendary burst and epic rifle.
Yeah, it's FAMAS.
Yeah. Oh, they added that new like competitive limited time game.
Oh yeah. I haven't played that yet, but I heard a lot of people just like camp for like no reason, just because they want to get that like high rank or whatever. Because like a bunch of money. Yeah, one of the TSM Pro players, Daquan, he like made a pretty good point where it's like there's no incentive to go for kills, so which is why a lot of people just camp in like 1x1s. So I feel like that there definitely should be a incentive to go for kills and all that stuff. But
yeah, there should be like, instead of like by like where you place, there should be like sort of like a point system. So it's like you get points for like killing people and how much time you live and like what place you get at. Yeah, I think that would fix it a lot.
Probably
more.
Like where you placed and then how many kills times that or whatever, like some sort of like algorithm, sort of thing. But a lot of people in that mode would just camp or whatever. So but Fortnite's still fun. I obviously still prefer playing with friends just because it's more fun and there's some strategy going into that, because like when you're playing solo, it's like, well, if I fucking die, I die, right? So
that is true. I've been playing like a lot actually, like solo. I'm like level 33 because I want to get the I want to be level 80 by the end of this season so I could get that full Omega skin for my battle pass. So I've just been doing challenges and stuff. It's a very addicting game. Like I could play like 3 hours of it. I'm like, okay, I should stop now. So,
all right, well, maybe it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I don't think I watched anything either. So.
Hey, 13 Reasons Why Season 2 comes out today.
Yes, it came out today. I think I'm going to watch it tomorrow, maybe, because today I have work and, Sunday I think I'm a stream, so.
Okay.
We'll see, but I heard Season 2 isn't that great. That's what my brother told me.
That doesn't surprise me, to be completely honest with you. So, yeah, I'll watch it. I guess we'll both watch it next week and talk about it. All right, so I actually been playing a lot. So, first, I'm going to talk about the Blaze Blue Cross-Sag battle thingy that it had like an online open beta. So I'm like, okay, let's play this. If you don't know, it's made by the people who made Dragon Ball, Arc System Soft. And basically, it's just like another tag team fighter where you have characters from Blaze Blue, Persona 4 Arena, Ruby, and some other game. I have no idea where it's from. It's like Under Night Birth or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea where those characters are from. But Persona and Ruby characters are cool. So I'm like, okay, I'll play this game because those characters are in it. So me and Kofi played a few matches, and it's really fun. It basically sort of plays like Dragon Ball, but like on crack. Where I thought Dragon Ball was really like super offensive, where you're like dragon dashing into people and like mostly on the offense. This game you literally have to be on the offense or you die. Like matches last like 2 seconds, because if you get like the first hit, you basically are gonna win because you just like destroy the other person. Because I feel like there's no like how in Dragon Ball, the longer your combo is, the less damage you do. I feel like this game doesn't have that. You kind of just die. So I'm like, oh, okay. It's really fun. It's very flashy. Like every super move is like takes up the whole screen. And it's really hard to see what's going on. Plus you have like the other character doing stuff. So it's just like the screen gets way too cluttered and like it's just like it's like hard to look at, and it's like it's very difficult to know what's going on. Me and Kofi had that same problem. Like, what's even happening at this moment? But besides that, I think the game is great. It's very noob friendly, like Dragon Ball, where it's like the only inputs you really have to know is Cordal Circle, and that's it. And the game's tutorial does a good job showing you what to do. It's not that complicated. You know, have a strong attack, where you have like a light attack, strong attack, and like a clash button, which I guess is like sort of like a grab, sort of. But it's also like a regular grab, so it's a little weird. But it really isn't that hard. It's like 4 buttons that you gotta press, so it's not too difficult. I was able to beat Kofi a bit, so it's like I'm like, okay, this game isn't like too difficult. It's not like Dragon Ball was like you have to like sort of outplay people. I feel like this one you kind of just press buttons. So again, it might not be for everyone that wants like an actual strategic fighting game or something, but it's still pretty fun because it's very flashy and like I think anyone could pull off a cool looking combo. So yeah, me and Kofi were pretty convinced that we are probably gonna buy it because we had a lot of fun playing it. Like we played on on Sunday and Saturday last week, and we both played for like 3 hours each. Like we were having a good time. So I'll probably pick it up. It's pretty fun. Next game I have been playing was Hyrule Warriors came out today on Switch, and I bought that again because I love that game, and I'm playing it. It makes me realize like I'm like, yeah, this game is great, and I like it because unlike Fire Emblem Warriors, every character is unique, and it's like 29 different characters, and sometimes those
everyone
characters
has a sword.
Yeah, but in Fire Emblem, everyone has like a sword or something. This game is like you do a bunch of crazy crap, and it's great. Like I love it. Like the fan service is like through the roof in this game. Like and I just like love it, dude. Like it really pays homage to a bunch of Zelda games, and I love it. Fire Emblem Warriors didn't really have that. It only really appealed to like Awakening and Fates people, and I'm one of those people. And even I'm sick of Fates and Awakening. So could we? I'm like you could put Roy and Ike. People know who Roy and Ike are. Smash! Yeah, like come on. But yeah, with this game, it's still great. The adventure mode I need to play more of. I didn't really touch that mode in the Wii U version. That's like the bulk of the game. In the Wii U version, I really only played the story mode and kind of just stopped because I didn't know I had an addiction to these games till Fire Emblem Warriors came out. So I'm probably gonna put like way more time into this game than that game. But yeah, I'm having a good time. It runs at 1080p, 60 frames docked. And I think when it's undocked, I played a little bit before we started. I think it runs 1080p, 30 FPS, which is kind of sad that it doesn't have the same graphical options as Fire Emblem Warriors, where you're able to tweak it if you want 60 frames and 720p, because it does that for a handheld mode, so it still runs pretty smoothly. But it's still it looks great. Like it runs fine and it's great. I love it. I haven't played too much of it, so I can't really tell you that much about the post game or whatever. But the other game I've been playing is another game on Switch that came out, which was like an indie game I was following for a little bit, then forgot it came out like on Tuesday. It's called Wizards of Legend. It's basically like a roguelike game where you play as a wizard and you're able to have like a bunch of different skills and stuff. It plays a lot like Gungeon and Isaac, where it's like you kind of just go through an isometric view and just find the boss, fight it, and then move on to the next area. It's actually really fun. I like it a lot, and it's really hard for me to like a roguelike because like most of the time they're pretty bad unless you're like an Isaac Gungeon or whatever. Like it's really hard to stand out, but this game does a good job standing out because the combat's really fun. With most roguelites, it's like you can just shoot and move on. Like Isaac, I wouldn't say the best part about that game is the combat, because you just shoot tears at people. It's mostly about what items go with what and what makes different synergies and stuff. Same thing with Gungeon, is like it's fun to dodge things, but it's like you're mostly just shooting things with different guns. It's mostly about what gun you get and what makes the game fun. With this game, it's like the combat actually is really fun because you can combo different abilities with each other and do some crazy combos. So yeah, I've been having a good time with that game. I haven't really gone too far again with that game. A lot of new games have been coming out, so I've just been trying to play them. So yeah, I haven't had a lot of time with finals and stuff. But yeah, I think that game is great. I think the price might be a little too steep. It's like $20, and I think the game doesn't have too much content. It's not like Isaac levels of content where you could play it for like 200 hours and still want to play more of it. This game seems more like you finish like the run and like you could go for a few more runs, but that's about it. But it's still pretty fun. I like it a lot. And I think that's it. That's all I've been playing. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Oh yeah, now we have God of War.
We can talk about God of War. Spoilers, obviously, to those that didn't finish it or don't want to be spoiled. Leave the podcast now because we're gonna talk about it in spoilers fully. So, When you got the Blades of Chaos, were you like? I mean, obviously you spoiled it for yourself, but like, what did you think about like that moment in and of itself?
It felt good to get the Blades of Chaos again. I was just like, yeah, I got it, and it feels good. They throw like hordes of monsters at you when you get it, and then you just like slice them all up, and it feels really good. I'm like, yeah, it's back.
But yeah, like my opinion of the game, pretty much is like I like it. Like it's a good game, but like the story I felt to be a little slow in the beginning. Like it took a while for me to like finally get invested in Kratos and
Atreus.
And boy or Loki or whatever.
Yeah.
So it took a while for me to like finally get into these characters, but once like I got the Blades of Chaos and boy was sick, I was like, all right, now we're actually getting into the game. That's just how I felt. I mean, like, what did you think about like the overall story?
Oh, for me, I loved it immediately. Like, I loved it, like, the moment you fight Baldur for the first time. I was just like, yeah, this game is great. And I basically wasn't invested in, like, all the characters at all times. Because it's not like you could say that with any God of War game. Like, hey, I'm in it for the story. Like, most of the time, you don't say that. Like, I thought I love all the supporting characters. I thought Atreus was really good. I really liked Mimir. I liked the two dwarves. Like, I thought everyone was really good. I enjoyed the story quite a bit. I was very invested, and obviously at the end, I was like, "Yeah, I need another one like right now."
They kind of ended on a cliffhanger, which I didn't expect until I saw the credits on the screen. I was like, "Oh, so it literally just ends right when we get to the top of the highest peak of the realms or whatever." So.
Wait, did you not do the? You didn't do the actual secret ending?
Oh yeah. So I know that secret ending because of Icarus.
Yes.
So like when I watch his review, obviously he had a very different opinion, which
most of the I know there's a lot of British people like kind of hate it, and I'm like I get it, but it's like I don't know, I still love it. Just shut up.
So like I agree with his opinion on the fact that the story was a little slow in the beginning, but I'm pretty sure he said something along the lines of like what I said, where it's like once it starts picking up, it starts to pick up. But when I saw that ending with like Thor, I was like, oh man, like that would have been so cool, but obviously now we have to wait till the next game where we'll probably face Thor in the beginning, and who knows what other adventure will go on. But like the gameplay, like that was like a very surprising part of the game for me, where I was like, this is actually like really good and really fun. And I didn't do any of the side missions because I was literally just doing story stuff. So some parts of the game got a little difficult, probably because I was under geared at certain parts, especially like at the end with that entire like horde boss sort of. Yeah. So when
I annihilated that, so yeah, you were probably under
like
gear.
So when they started to like throw all of those enemies at you, the one like wave where it's just like those two flying guys that were like the bugs or whatever, like that's what had me stuck for like 10 to 15 minutes or whatever. But after that, like it was like pretty smooth sailing. But the whole like just like the whole gameplay was just like really good. And obviously once you like start upgrading stuff, that's when it like gets really really fun, because that's when a trace actually becomes useful. So
he's extremely good.
But anything else? I mean, like you feel
I personally did not care about this game when they kept showing in E3. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's just God of War without the things that make God of War, whatever. But when I played it, I literally just bought it because everyone else was saying it was so good. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll buy it and play it. And I loved it. Like, I thought the combat, again, felt very nice. It felt very, it just felt satisfying to hit things when you threw your axe and return it to you. It just feels so satisfying. I loved the world it was set in. Like, the whole Norse mythology really fits in with the God of War series. I love all the supporting characters. The story was great. I really actually like a lot of the additional side content. Like, you don't expect this game to be this content dense, because it seems very like you can just beat the main story like pretty easily. Like, well, you have some trouble, but like it's still pretty linear. But there is just a lot of things going on in such a tiny hub world. I'm like, wow, this is like amazing. They packed this much stuff into this like one game. Like, there's a lot of things to do in Midgard, and then when you go to the other realms, like there's like The volcano place and like there's like a fog area. Those two areas are really fun too, and those are all like optional. Like you don't have to do them at all, but they're like they're just packed with stuff. Like I still need to go back to the game to go do that. Same thing with the Valkyrie fights, where they're like really hard additional boss fights, but they're like, really fun to do and get a bunch of cool gear and stuff. It was just great. The side quests were really fun to do. A lot of cool like narrative stuff going on there too. It was just a nice package. Like it was just so good. Like it just ended off, and like I'm excited for the next game, and it's great. Like I loved it. Right now is like my game of the year so far, and it's great when you go into a game not expecting anything and it just blows your mind. I'm like, I love that.
I was going to ask that as to like where it ranks within your games of 2018, but now you just answered that question. For me personally, this is definitely the best game I played this year, but I'm not like completely sold on it, because I feel like there's other games that are going to come out later this year, like Spider-Man and a bunch of other games that I feel like will definitely knock God of War out, but who knows, because like the game story, like it was definitely slow in the beginning, I felt, and then the combat and all that stuff was great and super duper fun. And I honestly like the fact that they literally just made these side quests as a way for you to go and get stronger, and weren't like story bits, which were a nice decision by Santa Monica to do, because like some games will, I think Witcher 3 is like a great example when it comes to like they wanted to add more story into the side quest, but instead for this game they did it like what most other game developers would do is it's called a side quest, so it's a side mission where you could get more gear and get stronger to help you along the way for your adventure. But yeah, like overall it's still a good game, but there are definitely some flaws that I see within it for myself personally. But as you can tell, Damian is absolutely in love with this game.
Yeah, I love it a lot. I was just playing it, and I was just, this is a fantastic game. I mean, like, there's still a chance this game could get knocked down for me. Like maybe again, I'm hoping Spider-Man's like a 10 out of 10 too, because I really want it to. But right now, this game is up there. Like it's pretty high up.
Yeah. I know that exact feeling where it's like I've never, I didn't follow this game at all, but everyone's saying it's good. Let me just play it, and it turns out to be freaking amazing. That's how I felt with The Last of Us. Like that game just like completely blew my mind. I was like, wow, the story's good, gameplay's good, all that stuff. But enough rambling on. Is there anything else you would like to add, Damian?
No, I think that's about it.
All right, so that is it for the Two Players Podcast, episode 60. Thank you guys for listening to us once again, and we will see you guys 2 weeks from now with the next episode.
Later.